Hello and welcome to another episode of today's GK. I am Pooja Dwivedi, and in this segment we bring to you objective questions on a daily basis to help you crack prelims. So let's begin with the practice question of the last segment. With reference to a star campaigner, consider the following statements. Expenditure incurred on the electioneering by a star campaigner is borne by the concerned political party and not by an individual candidate. When the Prime Minister is a star campaigner, the expenditure incurred on the security is borne by the government. We have to select the correct statement. Both are correct. Option C is the correct answer. Recently, Congress released a list of 30 star campaigners for the first phase of the forthcoming Uttar Pradesh Assembly election. A star campaigner is a celebrity vote seeker in an election for a party, and this person can be anyone, a politician, or even a film star. Expenditure incurred on electioneering by the star campaigner is not added to a candidate's poll expenditure, and according to the Representation of People's Act, these expenses will be borne by the political parties. However, for an individual candidate to get relief from campaign expenditure, the star campaigner has to limit oneself to general campaigning for the party. The Model Code of Conduct guidelines say when a Prime Minister or a former Prime Minister is a star campaigner, the expenditure incurred on security, including on the bulletproof vehicles, will be borne by the government and will not be added to the election expenses of the party or the individual candidate. Moving on. Consider the following statements. Himachal Pradesh became Union Territory on 1st November 1956. Himachal Pradesh became a Part C state on 26th January 1950 with the implementation of the Constitution of India. We have to select the correct statement. Both are correct. Option C is the correct answer. On the occasion of the 52nd Statehood Day, the Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister announced free electricity to households consuming up to 60 units per month. The decision have come when the state assembly polls are scheduled to be held by year end. The history of present-day Himachal Pradesh in the post-independence era has been outlined below. The Chief Commissioner's province of HP, that is Himachal Pradesh, came into the being on 15th April 1948. It became a part of C state, a Part C state basically on 26th January 1950 with the implementation of the Constitution of India. Bilaspur was merged with Himachal Pradesh on 1st July 1954. It became a union territory on 1st November 1956. Kangra and most of the other hills of area of Punjab were merged with Himachal Pradesh on 1st November 1966. Its status still remained that of a union territory. On 18 December 1970, the State of Himachal Pradesh Act was passed by the Parliament and the new state came into being on 25th January 1971 and it emerged as the 18th state of Indian Union, and it has seen a number of full-fledged governments which have led to the state towards economic self-reliance. Moving on. With reference to the bad bank, consider the following statements. These are banking institutions which are facing balance sheet problems. The banks are restricted from getting involved in lending and taking deposits. We have to select the correct statement. Both are not correct. Option D is the correct answer. 6 months after the setting up of National Asset Resolution Company Limited, the proposal for setting up a bad bank is yet to take off. Bad bank conveys the impression that it will function as a bank but has bad assets to start with. Technically, it is an asset reconstruction company or an asset management company that takes over the bad loans of a commercial bank, manages them and finally recovers the money over a period of time. The bad bank is not involved in lending or taking deposits but helps commercial banks clean up their balance sheets and resolve bad loans. The takeover of bad loans is normally below the book value of the loan and the bad bank tries to recover as much as possible subsequently. With reference to the Gallantry Awards, consider the following statements. Gallantry Awards were instituted by India after the Indochina War. Mahavir Chakra is India's highest military decoration award during wartime. Ashok Chakra is the highest military award during peacetime. So we have to select the correct statement. Only the third is correct. Option C is the correct answer. 6 army personnel, 5 of them posthumously, have been selected for the Shaurya Chakra, the third highest peacetime gallantry award by the President and Supreme Commander of the Indian Armed Forces. Post-independence, first 3 gallantry awards, namely Paramveer Chakra, Mahavir Chakra and Veer Chakra, were instituted by the Government of India on January 26, 1950, which were deemed to have effect from 15th August 1947. These awards were renamed as Ashok Chakra, Kirti Chakra and Shaurya Chakra respectively in January 1967 Paramveer Chakra is India's highest military decoration awarded for displaying distinguished acts of valor during wartime, whether on land, at sea, or in the air. Mahavir Chakra is the second highest gallantry award for acts of conspicuous gallantry in the presence of the enemy. Ashok Chakra is the highest military award during peacetime for valor, courageous action, or sacrifice. Moving on. Consider the following statements. Chakma and Hajong are ethnic communities who fled from erstwhile Pakistan, East Pakistan, that is Bangladesh now, and settled in Arunachal Pradesh, and Chakmas are predominantly Hindus, while Hajongs are Buddhists. Chakmas and Hajongs come directly under the ambit of Citizenship Amendment Act 2019. We have to select the correct statement. First is correct, second and third is not. Option A is the correct answer. The National Human Rights Commission has directed the Ministry of Home Affairs and the Arunachal Pradesh government to submit an action taken report against the racial profiling and relocation of people belonging to Chakma and Hajong communities. Chakma and Hajongs are ethnic people who lived in the Chittagong hill tracts, most of which are located in Bangladesh. Chakmas are predominantly Buddhists, while Hajongs are Hindus, and they are found in Northeast India, West Bengal, Bangladesh, and Myanmar. They fled erstwhile East Pakistan 1964 and 65 and came to India and settled in Arunachal Pradesh. Chakmas lost their land to the development of 𝐃𝐫𝐢𝐬𝐡𝐭𝐢 Dam on the Karnafuli River, Bangladesh. Hajongs, they faced religious persecution as they were non-Muslims and did not speak Bengali. For a very long time, local people have been protesting against Chakmas and Hajongs because of their different ethnicities. In 2015, the Supreme Court directed this center to grant citizenship to Chakmas and Hajongs who had migrated from Bangladesh in 1964 to 69. However, these communities do not directly come under the ambit of the Citizenship Amendment Act of 2019 because Arunachal Pradesh is among the states exempted from CAA since it has an inner line permit to regulate entry of outsiders. Moving on. Recently discovered, Ganoderma keralense is a new species in Kerala. It belongs to which of the following group of microorganisms? The correct answer is option B, fungi. Researchers from Kerala identified 2 new species of fungi from the genus Ganoderma that are associated with coconut stem rot disease. The 2 fungi species are Ganoderma keralense and G. pseudo-aplanatum. The butt rot or basal stem rot of coconut is known by several names in different parts of India, like Ganoderma wilt in Andhra Pradesh, Anaborega in Karnataka, and Thanjavur wilt in Tamil Nadu, to mention a few if we talk about. The infection begins at the root, but symptoms include discoloration and rotting of stem and leaves. In the later stages, flowering and nut set decreases, and finally the coconut palm dies. And this oozing has been reported only in India, the reddish-brown ooze. Once infected, recovery of the plants is not likely, not surprising then. That is the cause of huge loss. By some estimates made in 2017 in India, around 12 million people were raised, said to be dependent on coconut farming. Moving on. With respect to the COAS commendation card, consider the following statements. It can be awarded to animals as well for individual acts of gallantry or distinguished services or devotion to duty performed in the Indian Armed Forces. The award cannot be made posthumously. So we have to select the correct statement. Both are correct. Option C is the correct answer. President Ramnath Kovind, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, they bid farewell to a horse, Virat, who had attended 13 Republic Day parades. COAS commendation is awarded for individual acts of gallantry or distinguished service or devotion to duty performed in either an operation or non-operational areas which are not of a sufficiently high order to qualify for a higher gallantry award, or for which the higher award is inappropriate. According to Ministry of Defence officials, Virat is the first horse to receive a COAS commendation. Commandant Colonel Anup Tiwari accepted the commendation. All ranks of the army and civilian personnel working under the supervision, direction and control of army are eligible for the award, and it will not be made posthumously. Moving on. Consider the following statements with respect to Annual State of Education Report or ASER. It is an outcome-based survey. ASER Center was established as an autonomous unit within the Ministry of Education. We have to select the not correct statement. Option B is the correct answer then. The findings in the ASER 2021 underline the learning crisis unleashed by pandemic-induced disruptions since March 2020 in the rural area of Chhattisgarh. ASER Center seeks to use simple yet rigorous methods to generate evidence on scale on the outcomes of social sector programs. It also aims to strengthen the link between evidence and action by building the capacity of individuals and institutions to design, conduct, and understand assessments that focus on the key outcome indicators. The Center of ASER approach has its roots in Pratham's work across urban and rural India to help children acquire basic skills in reading and arithmetic. ASER Center was established as an autonomous unit within the Pratham network in 2008. Recently, the Corruption Perception Index of 2021 by Transparency International has been released. Consider the following statements with respect to it. India's rank improved by 5 places to 85 in 2021 from 80th in 2020. And except Bangladesh, all of the India's neighbors are ranked below it. We have to select the correct answer. Both the statements are not correct. Option D is the correct answer. Corruption Perception Index 2021 has been released by Transparency International, which is an international non-governmental organization founded in 1993. It is based in Berlin, Germany. The index ranks 180 countries and territories by their perceived levels of public sector corruption according to experts and business people. It uses a scale of 0 to 100, where 0 is highly corrupt, 100 is very clean. India's rank improved by 1 place to 85 in 2021 from 86th in 2020. Except Bhutan, all of India's neighbors are ranked below it. Pakistan dropped 16 spots in the index and it was ranked at 140. The Tabqa Dam is situated in which of the following countries? The correct answer is option D, Syria. A dam in Syria was on a no-strike list. The US bombed it anyway. This dam, most commonly known as Euphrates Dam, is an earthen dam on the Euphrates located 40 kilometers upstream from the city of Raqqa in Raqqa Governorate, Syria. The Tabqa Dam was a strategic linchpin controlled by the Islamic State group. Mukhyamantri Noni Sashaktikaran Sahayata Yojna has been launched to support the girl children of the labourers by which of the following states? The correct answer is option B, Chhattisgarh. This Yojna, by the name of Mukhyamantri Noni Sashaktikaran Sahayata Yojna, will be launched in the state of Chhattisgarh, aims to support the daughters of labourer families in education, employment, self-employment and marriage. And a sum of Rupees 20,000 will be deposited in the bank account of each of the first 2 daughters of the labourers registered with the Chhattisgarh Building and Other Construction Workers Welfare Board. So let's look at the practice question for the next segment. Consider the following statements. Wetlands and biodiversity-rich aquatic systems. National Green Tribunal is set up under the National Green Tribunal Act of 2014 for expeditious disposal of cases related to wetland protection. We have to select the correct answer. I hope you'll be answering it correctly. That's it for today. Tomorrow we shall meet again with another segment. Until then, stay updated and keep watching.